What's going on, fam bam? This is TeNoonzie back at it again, chilling in the man cave as usual. Shout out to BigMel, y'all already know what it is. His information will be in the description box. And shout out to my iStar family, y'all gonna hear it first here. And then I might even slide a couple of clips on Instagram or Facebook, even Twitter. But you guys got it first. Shout out to the family who's been supporting the TN products. I have a special update for y'all too, man. So without further ado, let me get this camera rocking. Hold on. Let me get this camera rocking. Boom. All right. Let me take this off. What's up, y'all? Man. I know I'll be putting the videos out kind of slow, but I'm working on it, all right? How y'all like my Niner hat, though? I ain't about to be sitting there explaining stuff all day. Look at that Niner hat. Niners for life, baby. I know we didn't win it all, but I feel like a winner wearing this hat, I tell you that. Shout out to Moore Body Sculpting. Y'all see it down there with the feather. This is a very, very good company that I ran across. Actually, it's my family. Instead of going under the knife, you can research body sculpting. You can find her, I believe, on Facebook. Just type it in as you see it there on the screen. And also, I believe she has an Instagram page as well. So go ahead and check her out, see what she does. If you don't know anything about body sculpting, you probably want to research it. It's a very safe and effective way instead of going under the knife to get the shape you want. You can also get it done as you are working out. So Moore Body Sculpting, right? And speaking of businesses, now, as I said earlier, my TN products, speaking of Instagram, I'm going to go ahead and make a dedicated Instagram page specifically for my TN products. That way, my clips and all that stuff can just remain on the TeNoonzie Instagram, and then I'll just have just a TN Instagram page specifically for those products. So that's the magnetic USB cable, the backpacks, and the power banks, and probably a couple other things. I'm working on stuff behind the scenes, but just look out for that. So enough of me plugging myself. I'll just do a quick show to talk about perseverance and strength. You know, all these past few years has been a lot on people. People been figuring out who they are within because they couldn't go outside for a certain amount of time. And, you know, that some people dealt with it okay, and some people kind of folded a little bit. You know, we found out who we really are. And there's a certain level of strength that it takes, mental strength and endurance and just looking within to find your better self. It takes a lot to do that, to admit your wrongs or to, you know, look at your weaknesses and admit that those are your weaknesses and go back into the mental gym or the spiritual gym and get it back together. That's really cool. You know, and I admire people who you give them a warning or you tell them a story about something and they're like, whoa, you know, I get it. I'm not dealing with that. You know, those are smart people who have the proper guidance, people around them to get them information that will prevent them from making certain mistakes. I like that, and I take my hat off to you. But I have to give a special salute to those who do fall on the wayside. Probably was a little hard-headed, and by the grace of goodness, they was able to persevere and make it out of their personal things that they've been going through. You know, their personal demons, so to speak. And what I'm talking about in particular is about a show I did 2 years ago. Yes, if you're on iStar, go all the way back 2 years ago. And the title of the video is It's Not How You Start, It's How You Finish. Rooting for you. And who was I rooting for? None other than the ex-NBA player, Delonte West. All right? Now, Delonte West, he was known, he really came in the light with everyone when he was playing in Cleveland with LeBron, and come to find out he slept with LeBron's mom, right? And that started a whole bunch of drama LeBron left. People was mad at LeBron for leaving, but I kind of understood because it was, it was some shady stuff. But Delonte West, he was viewed as somebody who was really bad. He got traded, played in it, and then he played a couple more years, and he left the NBA, played in the G League, if I'm not mistaken, and then he played overseas. But when he came back to the States, he actually was on hard times, and it was a viral video of him not looking anywhere near his former self. He was in the streets. He was homeless. He was barefoot. Looked like he had probably been doing drugs. His family, by their admission, allegedly that he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and they tried to help him, but the medications kind of made it worse for him, and he kind of spiraled down. And then that one video, which was like 2 years ago, where they showed him allegedly getting beat up in the middle of the street by somebody, and he was like in the fetal position, and the guy knocked him down and started stomping on him, WWE style, and it just was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. And even when the police showed up, like, Delonte was having what I perceive as a mental breakdown because he already, allegedly diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Well, this person, whoever was fighting him, doesn't know that, and he beat him up, and he was alleged to have yelled out some insults to him, and mentioned Trump name or whatever the case may be. And when the police was trying to interview or get a statement from Delonte just had a huge episode, and it just made him look crazy. And it touched my heart. It actually made me feel very sad to see somebody take such a huge fall from grace the way that he did. And social media was pretty much relentless, saying, hey, we can't feel bad for him. That was his decisions, and he shouldn't have never slept with LeBron's mom, and how can you make all this much money and then end up in this position? I have no sympathy or no empathy for this person. And I'm just like, wow, I can't believe it, man. People be cutting deep. Them keyboards, man, they be cutting deep with them fingers, cutting deep with their mouths. And, I'm like, what's going on with people? So I decided to do a video thinking about it from the other side, because everyone has some form of shortcomings, and some are harder than others. And coming from a family where, we have, so maybe you too watching, you may have family members who are on drugs or suffer from alcohol abuse or some form of mental abuse. And then everybody tried to help them, but they was far gone in their own thing. And then one day they just snapped up out of it. Like, I don't want to be this way no more. And they worked real hard. Just as you thought that they had given up on themselves so much, they really didn't. And they fought hard. And so I had a heart for him. And I remember about a year ago, one of the former coaches of one of those teams, I don't really remember it, but you guys can look it up, reached out on social media to get people to help him find Delonte West. And he was able to find him, spoke to him, gave him some guidance, helped him get clean. And now Delonte West is training to be a part of Ice Cube's Big 3 League, which is really, really awesome, man. And I honestly, it made me so happy that I did the show 2 years ago, that I was not about to let this story go by without me actually talking about it again, because that's what it's all about. It's people who go through drug addictions, any form of addiction that could be like detrimental to your life or to your family, your children, or whatever, and you overcome that. Those are some of the strongest people I know. All right, it's a certain strength to not overcome to not bite into temptations and stuff like that. But if you do and you get caught up in stuff, it's very hard to get out of it. There's very strong drugs, like not even just street drugs, but pharmaceutical drugs, where people just, one hit, one level of dosage, and they're gone. They're never coming back. So to see him bounce back the way he has and what he's doing, that is a beautiful story, the type of stories that we need to hear. And I thought I'd share it with everyone, because we've been hearing a lot of bad news lately. If you're suffering from drug, alcohol abuse, mental abuse, don't give up on yourself. And if you're somebody who have a family member or a close friend, don't give up on them. You give them the space. You do understand that it does take for them to want to work it out, but don't give up on them, because we get in situations where we hear people going through things and you like, man, they come and complaining, but they not doing nothing. Well, that's a cry for help, and they probably do just need to get the words out and then get some encouraging words, and not just you're doing this, you're doing that. They're already living it every day. They're living that nightmare every single day. So show a little bit more empathy. Your boy try to always put out something positive at the end. This is a huge salute to Delonte West and to those who cared about him and had enough patience for him, and even for himself to find that, man. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing, and I hope that his life continues on. As I said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. All right, this is TeNoonzie. Shout out to BigMel and everybody else who's watching this, and iStar and everywhere else too. I'm gonna put a couple of clips out there, and look out for the TN products, the page that's gonna be on Instagram. All right, I'll holla at y'all on the next one. Peace out.